Orleans Court. Here I'm sitting out in front of the civil courthouse building where I really thought I would get some type of justice whenever I, asked to be, have my parental rights protected, you know. So I came here and went before Miss Judge Jupiter, and basically my ex presented her side, and then, in a sense, Miss Jupiter asked me certain things, and I responded. Here we had, I filed for a restraining order because past history of how my ex would lie or pull stunts, and just like I said, here in Louisiana, incarceration capital of the world, my number one thing is, I don't want to be locked up. I'm not gonna let nobody, make me do something that's gonna mess myself up. So, after she listened to my ex's side, she gives me this, thing about something about, initially she was gonna give him like 6 months restraining order. So at that moment, I said, I object. What I really wish you would do, Judge, is recuse yourself, because obviously you're biased. She didn't like that at all. So I don't know, eventually she made me sit down. She made us sit down because, like I said, I'm not a pushover. I know my rights, and I expect my rights to be protected by the government, by the powers that be. Just do your job. Don't try to do what don't step outside of your, don't go above your pay grade in a sense. Don't do something that's gonna kind of hurt more than it's gonna help. And that's what at that point in time, my blood pressure, I just got back here in New Orleans. Blood pressure was high and everything because my ex was stressing me, because here, my daughter calls me April 16th, my birthday. It's about to come up. And, she goes to the side, she tells me, Dad, I want you to come to my kindergarten graduation. So, throughout the years, my ex been trying to get me to come back to New Orleans because she hint, if I had came to New Orleans, that maybe we would have worked things out and this and that and so forth. I was just telling her, hey, check it out, I got things I got to do because I'm the center of my family, and I just want you to really be a friend, first and foremost. Be a friend, and kind of understand the stuff that I'm trying to accomplish in a sense, because I'm a good man. Even you said I did what I was supposed to do throughout our marriage. So then my daughter, she tells me my mom's got a boyfriend, and the boyfriend did something. So I pulled my ex, I was like, hey, where your mom at? Put her on the phone. So I'm like, hey, did you do a background check on this dude? Oh, no, he's got girls of his own and this and that. Yeah, whatever. Have you done a background check on this dude? Bottom line, do you know who this cat is that you leaving with my kids, or my daughter? I can be there, watch my own daughter, so forth, if you weren't trying to be so controlling and manipulative. So, I don't play about my kids. Check this out. I'm gonna work things out, and I'm gonna get on. I'm coming back to New Orleans. So I get out the phone and actually call the CPS, Child Protection Services here in Baton Rouge, and filed a report. So basically, I explained to him I only had the address to the grandmother, and she doesn't live with them anymore. She has her own place, but you can find my kids through them. So it's a lady. They put on the case. Apparently, she goes to the house. She's told that they don't live here anymore. She basically dropped the case. So, here I'm calling, trying to find out about what's going on with my kids, through CPS and so forth. And I hear that the case has been dropped. I'm just like, what? So I'm like, man, I'm about to hop on. I told Danielle, because from April 16th to like May, whenever I got on the road to come back to California, she let me talk to my kids. I call, such and such time, they go to bed. So I called before they go to bed and talk to them. She was letting me talk to them. Cool. Once I get on the road, she stopped answering the phone. I'm like, oh man. So I think I got in Arizona. My radiator bust or like a hose bust and started leaking water. Had to stop off. God bless. The exit I got off had a Napa auto parts store. So I got a piece of hose, and I'm a mechanic. I repaired my car, hopped back on the road. Actually, another hose popped. So luckily, I had enough leftover hose from the hose that I bought to replace that one, continue my ride. So I get in Texas, my tire blows. So I end up having to go to Walmart and have my tire, buy another tire. And, like I said, I'm calling. My ex is not answering. So like I said, the blood pressure, the stress level. So I get to Shreveport, and I stopped there, and I'm like, I called, and I'm like, I left her a message. I'm like, hey, I'm not playing games with you, no. If you're not gonna cooperate, I'm not coming down there for no bull crap, because my temper is bad, I know, and like I said, I'm not gonna play with my kids. So, at this moment, she calls me back while I was in Shreveport. Okay, just come on, meet me at my mama's house, such and such, and you can see the kids. So I was like, okay, cool. So 5 hour drive was nothing, I did that all after Katrina. So got here about around 8 o'clock that evening. Go by the mom's house, I call, she not answering. Leave a message, don't hear from her. So basically, that's what I was, heated once I got in front of the judge. So I explained, I stayed, I camped out of my car, and then I went to the lakefront. For some reason, she always wanted me to live under the bridge. I played along, so she brought the kids out there to the lakefront to see me. So, like I said, once I get in front of Judge Jupiter, I'm talking to her and I'm explaining the different stuff. And I got the court document papers from whenever she came to Destrehan and had me locked up. She lost the case. Had the paperwork from Shreveport whenever, my sister died. The day my sister died, she lied to the cops, told them I hit her and, had me locked up, So I'm trying to establish a pattern of behavior. So the judge tells me, oh, it's not recent enough. The judge suppresses evidence? I'm trying to, like I say, lay out a pattern of behavior, because she always stages stunts, my ex. And, like I said, once I get on the road, she stops answering the phone. So throughout everything, I want to say that, it took me, the judge set me back down because, like I said, I know my rights. I'm not going to let nobody basically take advantage of me. Ended up, like I said, she put 18-month restraining order on me for just calling my kids. And I'm telling the judge, first off, there has to be some type of violence, or, there's criteria for you to be able to ask for a restraining order. And just calling, talking to my kids is not, enough, valid enough. Doesn't merit a restraining order. So they put me under supervised visitation, and I see that, oh, you're supposed to pay for this and pay for that, and she wanted me to pay for the court and this and that, and I'm just like, nope. So, the clerk came out with the paperwork after everything was said and done, and wanted me to sign it. I'm like, no. First off, I don't think a female judge is really allowed to be over my case because of uh, women were never made equal to men, and the voting rights didn't give them, like, say, equality. And knowing that Women's Liberation uh, Act or whatever, that the thing to give them equality was never ratified in Louisiana, which I did bring up to the judge. I'm like, I don't have to go along with her verdict. It's biased. So end up, I asked for an appeal. I'm like, I'm gonna file an appeal. So I get my money together and get the paperwork. I look online. It's nothing that basically in Louisiana they hide everything. I even called and I looked because I went to California website. The self-help. Everything is laid out. Here's the PDF file that you basically just fill out, and this is what you submit, and this is how you do things, and such and such. So then it found out that in every different, I guess, what is it, like jurisdictions or something, each jurisdiction in Louisiana does things differently. There's a different method. I'm like, what happened to uniformity? Everybody doing, I'm like, this is one state. Why is, this city doing this way, that city doing it that way, and why is not everything, open to the public? Because they basically told me that the appeal process, you're gonna have to hire a lawyer. I'm like, why do I need a lawyer? When I can do this stuff myself. So, and I realized that everything is a Willie Lynch, divide and conquer type strategy. And that's what I, presented to the judge, because she was of color, and she was educated. But they always did say that an educated nigga would be a problem. And that's what it seems like here in New Orleans. They got a lot of educated niggas, that really are ignorant, and they're dividing their own people. Nobody sticks together, and that's what I see the issue is. And I really, didn't want my kids to grow up down here because of the education system, which I brought up to her as well. I'm like, here before Katrina, school board crash, and then you got this charter system. It's experiment, whereas my kid was in a school in Shreveport, my son, who's advanced, he was in schools that Excellence in Education Awards, Judson, and I was trying to Uri Drive, Captain Shreve. We received Excellence in Education Awards for having proven, over time that, they educate the people properly. And I don't want my kids experimenting on. And that's what I see down here is a problem. They friends killing friends. We don't do that where we come from. Family sticks together where I come from. And everybody here has, it seems like finding a person who's a man of their word, or who has good, in a sense, good manners, it's hard to find. They'll play. That's the crazy thing is we're known for hospitality, but it's a front. It's fake. It's only for a certain time, time span. So I realized that that's the problem. Is we need leaders who are going to bring people together instead of divide us and be, looking at the money, the dollar bill. And a friend of mine, like I said, they just told me about this New World Order, But in God we trust, But everybody it's about the money. Everything, the love of money is the root of all evil. And now I understand why California was filing bankrupt, because they had a lot of lawsuits. You can imagine, like Rodney King, they're violating people's rights. And once they got hip to the different things, they started lawsuits. And that's what eventually is going to happen here, especially with me in New Orleans. I'm going to try to cripple them, for real. Because military taught me the best attitude adjuster is to hit them in their pocket, hit them in their wallet. And now I'm finding out that, even like say with the cops, that you sue the state. Governor Edwards, I really feel sorry, but you might have to file bankruptcy eventually to get us, the budget right or whatever, but we got to bring everybody together. United we stand, divided we fall. And in God we trust. We got to really start putting our faith back in God instead of this dollar bill, instead of trying to control the next person, and that's the ironic thing is everybody is religious here, but nobody really understands what Christianity is really about.